Firstly, welcome to the show, Adil sir. Great to have you. You've obviously been a great name in the world of athletics and represented India at the Olympics yourself and VP of World Athletics. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for having me on the show.
अब मेरा पहला सवाल आपसे यही है कि आपने इंडिया रिप्रेजेंट किया है ओलंपिक्स में एंड एथलेटिक्स में आप काफी सालों से हैं, काफी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस कर रहे हैं भारतीय इस बार एथलेटिक्स में काफी सालों से। तो इस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
It's very simple. It's due to proper planning, strategic planning, and it's taken us 10 years to get here where we've gone. So it's not an overnight thing. Sports doesn't happen overnight. So when I started as president in 2012, 2013, we put out a strategic plan, which was a two-pronged strategic plan, a grassroots level plan and an elite plan. And we did different things, so both are not the same. So the way you treat grassroots and the way you treat grassroots athletes, the way you treat elite athletes, the needs, the requirements, the training, everything is different. So we made that split first. After doing that split, we ensured that at the grassroots level, we went into districts of India. So we run the National Inter-District program. Now we are in more than 625 districts of India. So we've reached into the grassroots level where only under 14 and under 16, we have about close to 1 million children taking part. And then they get selected from their districts and they come into the National Inter-District, which we had in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad last year. We had over 6,000 athletes from 625 districts. So that is the program from where Neeraj, Duti Chand, Hima Das, you name whoever, they've all come out of this program. So it takes 10 years, 12 years. When we started this program, actually 19 years ago, we only had 160 districts in year one. Today, we are running at 650 districts. In the elite, we said, listen, we don't have sports sciences, we don't have people with knowledge of biomechanics, biochemistry, etc., etc. So what we did was very simply got in foreign experts. If you don't have it internally, just go out and buy it. It's as simple. You don't try to recreate the wheel. Yes, we are recreating the wheel, but it'll take us 20 years to reach that level of efficiency. So we very simply bought out coaches and we got foreign coaches. We identified events. That was a very, very important part, that we identified events that you can't do 50 events. Nobody can do 50 events. So you focus on certain events where you are good, where you're physically good, where you have a better chance, etc., etc. But before that, the most important thing we did was the calendar. So what we did is we brought the calendar in line with the international calendar. Because what was happening is that we have pretty harsh seasons in most of India. Now, the world season is catered to Europe because Europe is basically the world of athletics and sport. So what happens is that the world season starts somewhere in May, ends in September, October. While we used to start our season in September, October, and end in February, March, because then it gets too hot, it's raining, etc., etc. So when the whole world was competing, we were in off season. When the world was in off season, we were in full season. It doesn't make sense. Of course, we had tremendous issues that people revolted, saying it'll be raining, we can't hold our championships, we can't do this, we can't do that. He said, nothing doing. If you want to reach world standards, you have to do certain things. So that's what we did. And then we brought in the foreign coaches. So it's been a long journey.
Absolutely, like you said, nothing comes overnight, especially in sports. Talking about, more at a bigger level, you obviously VP of World Athletics, and I've been talking to a lot of athletes who've said there has been a tremendous sort of improvement in the mental abilities as well. Now, there was a time when uh, they would be like insecure about themselves and would think foreigners are better than us. And now, when you talk to any athletes, they have that confidence. They are like, there's absolutely no difference. It's just like 1920s, and it's just about who does well on that particular day. So we've seen that aspect improve as well. So is there a focus on, enhancing mental abilities and mental training for athletes as well?
So I think two things have happened. One is that there's been a lot of incentives, cash incentives, extra, etc., which has made people think of going out there and trying to get better performances so they can make some money. That is one. Of course, there has been a downside to that also, but that's another issue. The second thing is, I think people like Neeraj have made people believe that we are the same flesh and blood as anybody else. We stay together, we eat together, we train together, and therefore we can also do it. So before athletes went, say, to the Olympic Games or World Championship, that I've got an India crest on my chest, but that was it. That was all they aimed for, was the crest on their chest. Today, they're saying we are going to go out there and fight. So that mental, so I think more than any mental trainer or mental person who can, sort of boost their abilities, I think by example, Neeraj has proved, and I think that has made a huge difference to to the whole environment, because there's a living example in front of you.
Absolutely. And you won't believe it, like most of the athletes who've said it have quoted about Neeraj's performance. They always set him as the benchmark that, he's done it. And so can we. Now, coming back to the report, there's this newly launched report of which you're a part of, India, the starting line, which talks about about our preparedness for the Olympics. So what do you have to say about the same?
Again, it's very simple. It's in two parts. One is the brick and mortar, which is the infrastructure. Two is preparing the team. So the brick and mortar is very simple. Uh, you can build it anytime. And I don't see a problem with that. I think the biggest problem is getting medals and preparing athletes to get medals. And why I say this, because uh, we don't have the ecosystem in place. Now, who are these kids who are going to compete in 36? They are between the age of 9 and 13 today. Today, at school level, it is not, first of all, sports is a state subject. So the state is responsible for preparing grassroots. That's one problem. The second problem is athletes will come from schools who are today in schools. They have no education there in sports. They have no talent identification there, because up to standard 5, it is not mandatory to even have a PE teacher in India. Right. Then, when in the higher classes they have a PE teacher, the PE teacher is used for everything but PE. And PE is not what is required to become a champion. By doing left, right, raising your hands up and down, you don't become a champion. So, and I don't see, in most schools in smaller towns, villages, don't have enough teachers. Forget PE teachers. Problem number one. Let's say you find kids. Where are the coaches? Who's going to train them? We don't have coaches. And we have a very, very serious problem about coaches. So you don't have coaches. So even if you identify them, who's going to coach them? So understand it's a huge problem. I mean, we are doing things to compensate that, but that's a separate issue of what we are doing, how we are doing. But so therefore, my worry is we don't have an ecosystem. We don't have masseurs, you don't have physios, you don't have sports scientists, you don't have doctors. And then people are talking about 100 medals. How? From where? So we have to be practical. Again, another very, very big problem is sports culture. Everybody wants a kid to be a doctor or a engineer or an IAS officer or something like that. Who wants their child to go into sport? So first of all, you don't have a sports culture. To build a sports culture takes you 25 to 30 years. It's good. We've taken some steps like Fit India movement, etc., trying to build that culture, but it'll take you 25 years. Do some analysis. Again, if you do analysis, the top, if you look at the medal winners in the Olympic Games, there are 200 countries that take part. Top 18 countries win, I think, about 70 or 80% of the medals. 18 or 20 countries max. There are 200 countries. Why? Do an analysis. Again, it's a culture. It's a sporting culture. Netherlands. The whole of Netherlands population is less than the population of Mumbai. They get medals. Lots of medals. Why? Even the king. And when I was there, I've seen him cycle on the streets. He goes to work on a cycle. Now, if that's the sort of mental setup, and that's the sort of importance given to physical fitness uh, and the sports culture, then naturally you will get champions. So, we have an issue there. We need to fix that issue.
You said a very right thing. There have been instances. In fact, two of the players I know, one of them, she's a record holder. I'm sure you know about Munita Prajapati. And there was a time when she didn't even have shoes. And she once rang us up and we helped her out in that. So these are, like you said, there are these loopholes which needs to be fixed.
See,
And
I'm
state,
not going into no shoes and all that. That's all okay. That's
yeah,
all everybody cries, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have shoes. That's all nonsense. Because if you're running at the topmost level, the
mm,
government gives you everywhere, literally to your underwear. So I'm
wow.
not even getting there. The amount of money and support the government is giving you through MOC, through TOPS, through all the other schemes is tremendous. So they have no reason, nobody has a reason to crib. We are just cribbers in life. We are not winners. We are not killers. We are cribbers. Until you change your damn mindset from being a cribber to a killer, you're not going to win. So any time I see an interview, all people are doing is cribbing. Let's say you had those shoes, would you have become world champion? A nonsense. So, and the media loves it. And that's all they are showing. A total nonsense. So let's not even get there, with me at least.
No, I think very well spoken. I think now, if you are performing at a certain level, everything is being provided to you. My question is because, like you said, you mentioned state sports being a state subject. How can we close this gap? What else? Because there are incentives, there are jobs, opportunities now being given to athletes. There are good prize monies, etc. Uh, what more can the state do to create that ecosystem which will help us get more medals in
State has to
2036?
create state has to create ecosystem. They have to start focusing on soft skills. They have to start preparing at coaches, masseurs, physios, doctors. They are as important as a coach. We give too much importance to the coach because because there is nobody else around. So we take coach like a big guy who starts advising on nutrition and who's also advising on fitness and who's also, that's not the coach's job. And he's also giving a massage because he doesn't want, also because the coach doesn't want the athlete to go to anybody else. Because then you get, the coach gets exposed. If they go to a nutritionist, the coach gets exposed that the coach doesn't know anything about nutrition. If coach goes to a physio, he gets exposed that he doesn't know what exercises to give to strengthen the injury muscle. So it's a very complex issue. It's not simple as you think it is.
No, definitely. But
So
again,
they have to work on soft skills. They have to start working on these and give scientific knowledge to the coaches and make the coaches understand. Every coach tries to hold on to an athlete. मैंने तुमको बनाया, मैं तुम्हारे गांव में था, I'll make you world champion. It's not possible. I've not seen that happen ever. You go to school, you go to a primary school, you go to a middle school, you go to a high school, then you go to a college, you go to a university. Do you have the same teacher? So then why should you have the same coach? What sense does it make? It doesn't make sense. Yes, the coach at school level was very good. The math teacher in my school was very good. But for that, teaching me that stuff. And then when I went to university, I had another teacher who was very good at teaching me math. I can't get the teacher that taught me fifth standard math to teach me, trigonometry or something like that, or calculus. So, I mean, I don't even, what people think, and people support them. No, 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 let them be. Oh, he brought them, wo gaon se utha ke le aaya. Very good, you bring him, no? But then we'll have to give him some foreign coaches, you'll have to give him foreign exposure.
definitely, I think you have to step up and, consistently evolve as an athlete, and you can only do it when you're consistently getting better people to train you, etc. My final question to you, Adil sir, uh, 2036 Olympics is a potential bid for us, etc. It's a matter of great pride, very important for us as a country. What next? You think how great India is now when it comes to sport? Apart from these, how much have we improved? I know you said in the
No, no,
past
you've
10 years we.
improved tremendously. I mean, you've improved tremendously. Look at figures. Before I became president, that was 12 years ago, we had 8 medals in Asian Games. We increased that to 18. We increased that to 29. We had no medals. We've got 2 medals in World Championships, 2 medals in the Olympic Games. Commonwealth Games, we had 2 medals, 3 medals, and then now 8 medals. So there has been an improvement. You can't say there's not been. But I think that if you're really looking at Olympics, you're looking at something as big as that, then lots more needs to go in. This is not enough. Asian level, Commonwealth level is not enough if you want to win medals at the Olympic Games. So the whole thought process has to be different. The way you approach it has to be different. So lots to be done.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for taking out your time today. Others, it was lovely having this conversation. I myself have played tennis at the Asian Games 2010. So I understand. And I also work with the state government here, UP. And I know everything like what you said, I can understand. My mom is a gymnastics coach as well. So
Good. Excellent.
lovely. Yeah. So great talking to you, and I'll keep in touch, sir. I'll send you this before publish. Thank you.
Sure.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.